Physical Future Gohan. What is there to be said about this guy? He's just an early prototype of what you would want to see in a tank back in 2018 for that Super Battle Road meta, because of course, back 2017, 2018, damage, you can go ahead and blitz through some of those Battle Road stages, but something like Future, which wasn't a very impressive category team back then anyways, was being taken slowly because you was running double Physical Future Gohan as leaders anyways. Like, sure, back then you had your Tech Vegeta Blue, you had your STR Rose. It's like, that's nice and all, but it's like Future Saga was probably nowhere near the top 3 of teams that were blitzing Battle Road stages anyways, so him being a defensive TUR and Dokkan trying out his design inside that specific difficult content was definitely really nice, right? It's a bit of a breath of fresh air if Dokkan is trying to release more defensive options back in 2018 opposed to like dropping another offensive TUR anyways, right? So Physical Future Gohan being a unit that builds up damage reduction each time he comes back on turn is very cool, but the thing is the fact that I think it would have been better if he started out with all of his damage reduction, rather than him starting out with 10% damage reduction up to 50%. It's a little annoying because, guys, let's go ahead and count how many times it would take for him to come back on turn anyways. So let's go ahead and map it out, right? So turn 1, 10% damage reduction. Turn 3, 20% damage reduction. Turn 5, 30% damage reduction. Turn 7, 40% damage reduction. And turn 9. Turn 9. But that was fine. Getting to 9 turns inside Super Battle Road was definitely something that happened, right? Back in 2018, that definitely did happen, unless you was running a fast team anyways. But Future Saga was not a fast team that was in any sort of regard. It wasn't a fast team at all. What's going on, guys? It's your boy Dev, back with another one of these Dokkan battle videos. Today we're going to talk about Physical Future Gohan. I feel like this guy's design is basically a early prototype of what defensive units were starting to become when it had first came out with this guy, right? He's just a unit that starts out with defense and builds up damage reduction, right? Sure, he does not hit hard. He only has 100% attack right here, and he gains 30% attack defense aside of super attack effect, so he only has a proc to gain attack aside of super attack effect and aside his passive, so he wasn't hitting hard anyways. Let's talk about how he performed for the meta that he came out in, that being the Super Battle Road meta. I feel like this guy performed well inside the Super Battle Road meta. The only thing was that this guy had to build up his damage reduction to look impressive defensively. Could he take a super attack from those Super Battle Road enemies? Yes, he could, provided he got his damage reduction fully built up, which took up to 9 whole turns. I feel as if though if this guy was to make it to like turn 5, for example, and had like 30% damage reduction, that's when he can take those super attacks, yeah? From 30% damage reduction all the way up to 50% damage reduction, this guy can definitely take a super attack from those enemies. And if you guys remember, back in 2018, listen, those Super Battle Road enemies hit quite hard with those super attacks. It's just like the Redzone in today's meta. They'll get you up out of here. That super attack would clear house. You were done. It was over. So I think this guy, defensively, you was easily making it to turn 5, so this guy will make it to turn 5, pretty easy, of course, and I think he would be able to tank those super attacks from Super Battle Road enemies. You guys know those Super Battle Road enemies did hit quite hard back in 2018. If you guys were playing in 2018, they would get you up out of here. Yes, it's like you take a super attack. It's like, let's go ahead and run through all the metas of Dokkan, right? We have like Dokkan events, you get super attack, you were dead. You have like Super Battle Road, you get super attack, you're dead. You got Extreme Super Battle Road, you get super attack, you're dead. God event, you got super attack, you were all the way dead. It's like long events. Did I mention long events already? I might have, but long events, God event, Super Battle Road, Extreme Super Battle Road, Redzone. All these events, they touch you with that super attack. You're gone. Cell max. 1.8 million attack stat. What? 1.8 million attack stat. You're getting up out of there. You're gone. Some of the strongest tanks in the game, like Tech God Goku, going up against Cell Max, is still taking 200k plus from Cell Max's super attack, and this guy has over 70% damage reduction when going up against a movie bosses category character. I think it's 77%, but still 200k when you have over 70% damage reduction is a lot. So the point is the fact that this guy can take a super attack from those super battle enemies back then, which was definitely very, very impressive. So I think that he performed well, provided he was able to build up his damage reduction anyways. I think for the first couple of turns, this guy will be a little shaky from like turn 1 to turn 3, because he can get hit really hard with probably some normal attacks, because he would only have 10% damage reduction. But still, for the super battle meta, I think this guy was actually quite good pre-EZA. Excuse me. So moving on over to how this guy would perform in today's meta, that being the Redzone meta, because he would easy. No, he actually EZAs before the Redzone. Interesting, huh? That is very interesting. So on JP EZAs before the Redzone. So this guy was EZA during the God event meta. Okay. Alright, so how would this guy perform during the God event meta? I think this guy would perform all right, but the only real sort of issue was the fact that it's like Future Saga was not really a great category team back in 2021, and like for like the EZAs we have now, like Tech Vegeta Blue, STR Rose, we have Vegeta and Trunks. Let's just pull up Future Saga, right? The options. Oh, when did you come out again? I do not remember. Yeah, you did come out in 2021. It's like we did have the Tech Androids, cool. So it's like the options we had for Future Saga was not really what we had today. We had to wait till like what? We had to wait till like Vegeta and Trunks came out. Vegeta and Trunks' celebration is when Future Saga definitely became much more better, because we got Vegeta and Trunks, we got LR Merge Zamasu, we got LR Goku Black Zamasu's EZAs, we got STR Rose and Tech Vegeta Blues EZAs. I completely had a brain fart there. It's like we had all these great options definitely come out. We had this AGL Goku Black here, and we also have like Tech Androids that didn't come out during the celebration, but I'm just using them as an example for like this Future Saga team. That's good. But if we go back to what Future Gohan had back in December 16th of 2021, sure, it's like us running him for Future Saga, it's like cool, but guess what? This is all we had. We had Gohan post EZA, which was he was actually solid post EZA. We had the androids. We had the 50th anniversary Vegito. Are we really gonna go ahead and use this guy? Okay. We'll move on down. It's like we didn't really have too many options for this Gohan when he first EZA'd, right? And you really want this additional 120% attack and defense with a Future Saga Trunks. And what do we have for Future Saga Trunks, right? Yeah, it's like we had this guy, but his EZA's mid, to be honest. We had, did we have this guy? When did you come out? I don't remember when you came out. You came out in 2021. Okay, we had this guy, but it's like he's niche. He's really whatever option. We have this physical LR Trunks, who's really just who really cares. And then like that's really all there is. Like that's all I see on the top of my head. It's like we also had AGL Trunks. No, when did AGL Trunks come out? AGL Trunks. Like, we had AGL Trunks. Cool, but like, no. It's like, I mean, I guess, sure. Sure, I guess you can go ahead and include AGL Trunks, but like, that's really all there is to it. You know what would be an interesting rotation? Running. How many links do they share with one another? That AGL Trunks and this Gohan. Is he even here? That's the real question. Let me see real fast. So pull up this guy. So of course they do have. He doesn't have prepare for battle. Ooh, okay, and he doesn't have cold judgment. He has all in the family though, which is definitely cool. He has Golden Warrior. That definitely hurts a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. I think if Golden Warrior was like cold judgment, that would have been crazy. I was like, that would definitely have been a little crazy. But yeah. The point I'm trying to make is the fact that back in 2021, even though this guy could perform well in the God event, I think he can definitely take a super attack for them, because he would have his damage reduction built up very, very easily when going up against those bosses. But I think the pieces he had around him were just not that impressive for the time he EZA'd, yeah? But yes, for the God event, I think this guy will perform quite well because he's a defensive option. Why wouldn't a defensive unit who gains 50% attack defense one turn his super attack effects, and he builds up to 58% damage reduction? Like, he has, listen, look at this. All this defense with 58% damage reduction, and he gains 50% attack defense one turn on super attack. That's really, really good. Yeah, let's go ahead and fast forward from the God event where he EZA'd all the way into the Redzone meta, and this guy is much more better because guess who comes out during the Redzone meta? These guys right here. And guess what? They actually link up relatively all right. Look at this. We finally get a better Trunks in game, and this guy gets additional defense on top of that 58% damage reduction. Yeah. So this guy can perform well in Battle Road at his time when he first came out, pre-EZA, of course. He could work well inside the God event, even though the pieces around him weren't that impressive. He could work well inside the red zone because he has these guys around him, and he could build up his damage reduction quite easily going through those turns, because that's only what? That's 7, that's 14, that's 21, that's 28. That's 4 turns of building up that damage reduction. That is very, very cake. It's like if you get this guy on turn 1, you can go ahead and just turn 1, turn 3, turn 5, turn 7, and by turn 7 he'll be at 58% damage reduction with 158% defense right over here, and an additional 120% attacking defense right over here, provided you're running Vegeta and Trunks anyways. And this guy is definitely a staple on Vegeta and Trunks' team because he is an amazing defensive option. It's like, sure, is there other options you can run? Probably, but it's like I would make the case that he's a staple, yeah. So what is good about this guy? I think what's good about this guy pre-EZA is the fact that he does have a solid super attack effect, and he does have defense with damage reduction, which was not really seen at the time. So that was something that was impressive for him when he first came out for that Battle Road meta. And when he EZAs, of course, what's impressive about him is the fact that he has a good super attack effect. He has a defense with damage reduction, which is definitely very powerful. And when Vegeta and Trunks came out, this brought out more power in him. Yeah. Why? Because it gave an additional 120% defense right here. He has 158% defense right here, and he has 58% damage reduction right over here, along with 50% attacking defense on super. So if this guy does double super for you, his defense is just going to look much more better. Yeah. Physical Future Gohan is that guy. And guess what? He could take super attacks from Redzone bosses. He could take a super attack from Redzone Broly. He could take a super attack from Redzone Cell Max. He could take a super attack from Metal Cooler Core. He could take a super attack from the Metal Cooler Redzone stage. It's like some of these very difficult Redzone stages, like where it matters, this guy can definitely get the job done at. It's like Redzone Frieza, Redzone Cooler, Redzone. It's like all these Redzone stages. Yes, this guy works well across every single one of these, provided he does have a Trunks with him. It's like even without the Trunks, you can make the case that this guy can actually work relatively well. Yes, because it's just like, what, 4 turns of him being on rotation to get that 28% damage reduction, right? So that's just 7 turns of him being coming back on rotation, right? Because it's like the first time he comes back on rotation, he gains that 7% damage reduction. It's like turn 1, turn 3, turn 5, and turn 7. That's just 4 consecutive turns of being on rotation with 58% damage reduction anyways, right? And guys, listen, some of his best linking partners, hey, let's talk about it, right? Let's talk about it. Goku and Gohan. Let's go ahead and move on down. He has Age LR Gohan post EZA. He has LR Namek Goku. He has Vegeta and Trunks. He has Berku. He has LR Goku and Vegeta. I'm just saying, guys, that is quite good. The fact that one of his best linker partners is this guy is just beyond ridiculous. But you're more than likely going to go ahead and run him right next to these guys because, guys, guess what? He gains more attack and defense anyways. Also with a 30% chance to crit, which is a bit of a cherry on top, but we don't really care about him doing damage. We care about his defense because defense is more important than offense. Well, technically, that can be subjective to what kind of player you are, because you can be the type of player to say that, oh, I like offense better than defense because offense is what gets the job done and is what takes out the boss anyways. And you can be a type of player like me and be like, defense is really important because some of these super attacks that these bosses will do to you, like Cell Max, for example, 1.8 million attack stat. This guy will, he's smoking you. You're done. You're getting cooked. It's over, right? So yes, I think it is quite subjective because, listen, you can be a player that likes offense and you can definitely get the job done with offense in Dokkan. I've seen it done. So yes, it can happen, or you can be a player like me who likes defense. You can like offense or defense. I think defense is more important because I like to live these super attacks, and I feel like offense is not really as consistent as defense. But hey, that's just me. You can go ahead and flip the tables around on me and say that offense is more consistent than defense because sometimes your defensive unit will not go ahead and build up fast enough, and your offensive unit would go ahead and kill off the enemy fast, and you can build up defense anyways. It goes both ways, all right? That's why I just said that it was just like that, right? So what is bad about this physical Future Gohan? Now, really, the only real bad thing about this guy I can probably point out is the fact that I honestly, I feel like post EZA, I feel like he's good. He's very good. I don't see an issue in him post EZA. It's like Golden Warrior, just like him having Golden Warrior is kind of just funky. I feel like this was just like cold judgment, so he could have an extra defensive link to fall back on. That would have been nice because he already has like, he's prepared for battle. It's like that's the only other defensive link he has, right? It's like he just has all in the family and prepare for battle as defensive links. I feel like if he had an extra defensive link, that would have been nice. But yeah, the only issue I have with him is him pre-easy A. The fact that he doesn't start out with all his damage reduction. That's it. This guy's good. I have no issue with this unit. That and the fact that he does not hit hard enough for the time that he came out during, because back in 2018, I hate to say it, but even though Battle Road was out, offense was still meta, right? Let's just be honest. Offense was definitely still meta inside in 2018 because during the Super Battle Road meta, you have 8 items. 8 whole items to play with. So listen, all my sort of offensive people that like nuking items and like these attack up items, they were going to town. It's like, if they didn't like physical future going back then, it's understandable. And also for the people that like offense more than defense, I'm not taking a shot at you, so please do not take it personally. I just wanted to make a example that whether you like offense or defense is subjective, right? So I think that is all there is to be said about physical future Gohan. I think he's just a early prototype of what defensive units would go ahead and look like from there on out, right? I feel like I'm missing a unit that was probably a bit of an earlier prototype of defensive unit. Probably that's that STR Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta. Well, he's just like pure damage reduction, right? So I think that's really about it. I appreciate you guys for watching. You guys are the best. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.